Hello everybody, it's Big Al with some more content for Lord of the Rings Rise to War. As you can see, I'm not in my account. I'm in Xanox account. He is a friend that was in Dome with us, and he asked for some help with his army. So first I'm going to take a look at a couple of reports, and I already have looked a little bit. So let me look at this one. Yeah, let's look at this one to start with. So, oh, that's not the right one. Sorry. Let me go back to his main. Uh, Forget it. I'm just going to look here with against Lupus. So Xanox is in lane this season, and he runs the Gil R14. He runs a Z1 Gandalf the White, an R10 Dane, and an R8 Bjorn. So showing you against Lupus, who's R13 Sauron, Z5 Gandalf the White, Z1 Dane, and I believe a 14. Yep, 14 Beorn. So, what the problem is, and I've looked through a bunch of his reports, is a couple different things. His damage dealers are dying early. One way to help that is with hit points. Gil is doing an okay job tanking, but he's not getting any crowd control. He's getting a couple stuns from Gil, a couple from Gandalf the White, but overall, the enemy's crowd control is just killing him. So, we are going to be replacing Gil with Sauron, who is R4, which will end up being R5, but still a little bit smaller respect level. But he's going to get that crowd control he needs so desperately. Another problem is every enemy has Sauron. So, pretty much the Sauron's just debuffing Xanox army too much, and they're not being able to deal enough damage. So we are going to try to combat this a couple ways. We are going to make Sauron the tank and get rid of Gil. We are going to put a 2-piece agility set on Sauron and an agility item as well. So we are going to try to get him faster than some. He's not going to be faster than all, but he is going to be faster than some. So we're going to try to debuff the enemy before he gets debuffed, pretty much, so that he still is at full strength, and then when the enemy debuffs him, it's not as big of a chunk, if that makes sense. So, first things first, I'm going to move around a couple things just so that they're in place. So, one of the things like I said, I know I'm going to do is I am going to put the 2-piece agility set. He's going to be a tank, so he needs the unit defense. He needs the command. So, on Gil, as you can see, we got these 3 items. So, we are going to be hammering them down because we do not want to lose any of the items. So, with the cask, as you saw, I'm changing it to the 2-piece agility. Also changing the harp to a reins because it's going to give us some initiative, and it's also going to give us a 2-piece agility set. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to unequip these so that we can Elven hammer them down. And I'm also going, like I was talking about the hit points, I'm going to get some more hit points for both Beorn and Dane. So I did that. I kind of skipped a step, but let me show you his inventory bag and what he is working with. These are all of his extra gold items down here that we're working with. So I chose the Dawn because we're going to be able to get a full refinement out of it. So he's going to have full command. Because as you can see, there is 6, 7, 8, 9 there in inventory. And then we can get some more HP on Sauron as well with these. And we're going to have to break this down. We already put the cask on there. You know, unfortunately, he didn't have an agility harp. Otherwise, I was going to keep the harp on there instead of putting the reins. And the reins, we're not going to get as much command out of it because he just doesn't have as many. But we're getting a couple extra command out of the Dawn instead of the White Knife. So, here we go. Let's go ahead and start elven hammering these. And then I am going to start building. And I know some people are going to say, well, this looks kind of unconventional. Don't get me wrong, it is a little unconventional with the Dawn on Sauron, but it is usable. It's not unheard of. But again, it comes down to making the most out of what you got. And look at all those hunter's guides. Which even that was an option if he would have had that in agility, which he didn't have. And then I would have changed his... I would have kept using the Dawn. But anyways, okay. So first we are going to refine this like crazy. We're going to max refine this. We're going to max refine the Cask of the Submerged Isle. And then we are going to refine the reins as well. So when refining gear, I always say use on gold and purple, use the siege ladder first, then use the set effects that don't make sense. Well, and then the doubles. Well, we're not going to be using the fortitude of elves. So, hey everybody, so the recorder cut off. So, as you can see, I finished refining and strengthening the Dawn, and then I went and refined the cask and the reins. I'm 1 cask shy of full refine on the cask, and on the reins I only have 3 refines, so need 1 more reins there. We are down just a little bit of command, but we're making up for it a little bit with the speed to kind of offset it. So, I'm going to go back to strengthening the cask. And as the old cask, it was all of the hunter's guides in there. So I'm going to put all of them back in there. And like I said, this is a little bit unconventional, but like I said, looking at the reports, it was the hit points and the crowd control that was really hurting Xanox. It's pretty much what was killing him every time, because his lack of and it getting used against him. So we are going to battle that a little bit. And now don't get me wrong, the people he's playing against are very strong. But Xanox is a strong player as well. Okay. So, now, here we have this. He's got 3 of them. We are going to give him some more hit points, but we'll do that afterwards. Let's strengthen this. First, we will start off with the worn out material. And for people that obviously notice that he obviously had to give me his login information for me to get into his account, all of this has been cleared with him before I'm doing it. And because we have history, he trusts me, and he flat out said any change that I see that will improve, go ahead and do it. And that's just because of the trust that we have. So don't think that I'm just in here changing everything without talking to him first. I want to keep those harps out, just in case if he needs to be used somewhere else on another commander. And then I'm going to put the 2 Night Stars. Okay. So, here's how we're looking. We have 575. Let's see. Got a little bit of focus. We got some unit defense here. We got the unit defense there. We got the unit defense there. We got unit defense. We got the initiative here. I really wish I could refine this one more time. But it is what it is. So that is going to be his tank from now on. And we are going to refine this. Because at least once, I want to get him a little bit more hit points. So, now, the other thing we were looking at was getting more hit points on his damage dealers. I believe it was this one. So, as you see, he has 6 Cask of Prides in here. So we can get some hit points for both of his commanders. And let's see what we can replace it with. We can replace it with the Warhelms, the Grey Hat, and the High Elf, or the Orcish Great Helm. Because I want to leave out these Herod casks, just like I left out the harps, in case he needs to start another support / tank. So let's go ahead and unequip this. We are going to hammer it down so we can get some more hit points. So with 6, that means I can do 2 refines on both, and then one of them can get a 3rd refine with his 2 damage dealers. And this one will be evasive. And let me look at his Bjorn really quick. What's he got inside of here? He's got a lot of massive breastplates in here. That's interesting. I don't know. People are wondering what I'm just sitting here blankly. Well, he has a few of the massive breastplates in there. So not only could he get more hit points, but we have options for set effects. Like he could change it to a divide and conquer if he wanted instead of the thick armor. This one as well has got a couple berserkers in there. It could get a flay or perseverance in here. That does give a moment of reflection. So I think maybe at the end of this season, me and him might go through his gear again. But let's get him set up with how it is now. And when refining, obviously use the junk set effects first. And the doubles. And we already got that. Okay. Now we're going to go to Bjorn, get some more here. So he's already got a thick armor built, so that is what, 160, and then another almost 160. So an extra 300 hit points there. And we need to rebuild Dane. So we are going to start off with the War Helms and put all of those in there. Because that was my original plan, was replace the Cask of Prides that I took out with the War Helms. Because I had 4 of them in the inventory. Nope. Now I gotta figure out what else he had in there. I think he had there's 5 gazes there. Got the High Elf Helms. We're gonna put the High Elf Helms in here. And that would leave 2 more of those and 5 of the Berserker's Gaze, and then we'll have an off piece. So we'll put one of the solo pieces. I'm going to use that gray hat because I know he won't use that. So there we go. So we got a little bit more hit points on Dane, a little more on Bjorn. We are full up there. We made Sauron now. So like I said, he has a little bit less command. It's because of these reigns here. The initiative, if it works right in the calculations, should make up for that little bit of command loss and the little bit of unit defense. You know, and I think I threw this was an idea I threw by him, was the initiative on Dane. Was to help Dane move a little bit quicker to target, so he's not targeted every time with the stuns or the madness. So right there, we got 31 plus the 5 here, which will put him at 36. And if we go into, let's look at some of the reports that he has. Lupus is a big boy, but let's look at his speed. He's sitting at 32. Okay. Doc Max, he's sitting at 25. The man, the myth, the Yeti. I know he runs speed. He's got 39, but there's not more we can do about that. Like I said, he's going to be faster than some, not all, but some. He's running a 5-piece set. He's got the High Elf Helm and the Explorer's outfit. And does this guy have? This guy's Sauron. 26 right there. Okay, so he's faster than some, not faster than all, but it's an improvement. So yeah, that's his gear in a nutshell. I mean, I could break down this Berserker's raiment and take out, you know, a couple of them and then replace place with like these plates of the Citadel just so that he can get a little bit extra hit points. But I'm not going to waste a permanent hammer on that. Same thing here, this massive breastplate. He could hammer it down and take out a couple to get a little bit more hit points. Let's see, an extra 160, yeah. I mean, that's another option, but we're not going to do that right now. So, that was me changing from Gil to Sauron. Like I said, I know he lost a little bit of command, a little bit of unit defense, but he's gaining the speed. So, just out of the last, 5 or 6 reports I looked at, over half he would be faster than. So, it's a start, And at the end of the season, who knows? Maybe we can change this into the High Elf Helm. If he can get a couple more for... I put that back in Dane's. We can possibly change it to the High Elf Helmet for the speed if we get a couple more for the refines. Let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 3 refines. Yeah, we don't want to lose that much command though. So there we go. I hope he enjoys this. And we are going to take care of getting his respect to respect 5 now, which you guys don't need to be on for. So, hope you enjoyed seeing a different train of thought of how to make your army possibly work better. And worst case scenario, if this doesn't work better, we wasted